Good evening, one and all, and thank you for making it to the third and the concluding masterclass of the HR Forum series, which we had initiated in the month of October. And you will be interested to learn that more than 110 professionals have attended this series so far, and that too during the time of social and competing events like Diwali, Navratri, and now the wedding season. But it's good to see all the interested faces here. A big round of applause for all of you, all those who are present to make it here. I and AMA are also thankful to all of you for your immense support in our programs and activities, especially the MDPs, the diploma, the advanced certification courses, and of course the open forum events. With your feedback and your suggestions, we have been trying to pull out new and unique programs which is benefiting to the industry at the large, right? So I would request all of you to keep supporting us. One more request is coming from me. I personally request all of you to participate and encourage your organization to participate in the AMA Agility Index. It is an index which is a tool to measure and evaluate your organization's performance and also evaluate the agility at which it is performing. The registrations are open and there's a separate landing page also on the AMS website. So I would request all of you to at least pass it on to your seniors or your colleagues as well as your industry peers. Wouldn't take much of your time. We take the feedback quite seriously. So at the end of the session, request all of you to fill out the feedback and submit it. And there will also be a QR code available. So thank you all of you, and over to Mr. Giriraj Dave.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all on behalf of Ahmedabad Management Association. As you are aware, we have already conducted 2 series or master classes on the subject HR. This is the third and final master class for the year 2023. So be prepared for HR conference in 2024, preferably in the month of January or February. We request you, all the participants, to follow us on social media and visit our website for further updates. Now, I'm very happy to introduce Mr. Hiren Vakil as a nominant speaker who has come all the way from Mumbai to address us. I know him since about 2006, 2007. I know him as a faculty member with the AMA. Mr. Hiren Vakil did his Bachelor in Commerce and Masters in Commerce for Sardar Patel University, Gujarat. He was a gold medalist at both the levels. Later, he did his MBA in Human Research Management from the University of Dallas, Texas, USA. He has worked for reputed organizations like ED's Corporation, a Fortune 500 company, Kansai Nerolac Paints, Seat Limited, RPG Group, and some other companies. Currently, he is a corporate trainer and management consultant. He is associated with several reputed companies and management associations. He is a known motivational speaker. Some of his inspirational speeches are available in the form of DVD and VCDs, even in the AMA library also, and bookstall. He has trained thousands of professionals and individuals and positively contributed their ways of thinking, behavior, and skills. He has been the guest faculty to many management institutions, including Ahmedabad Management Association. He carries with him a rich practical experience. Now I welcome Mr. Hiren Vakil on behalf of AMA. I'll not take much of your time. Over to Mr. Hiren Vakil.
Okay. Chaliye, let us get started and good evening, everyone. All right. Namaskar. All right. So thank you very much, Giriraj Bhai, for my introduction. And once again, I would like to thank AMA for inviting me and giving me this lovely opportunity of interacting with all of you. See, as everybody is aware of, this is the third master class in a row. The first one we had was in the month of October, and I think it was Panchmu Nortu. The second one we had was in the month of November, and this is the third one and the last one in this series. See, in the first one, we had chosen the topic of HR as a business leader. The second one was, we took a step further and we got into training and development, learning and development, changing dimensions. And today we have chosen the topic as HR as the custodian of organization, culture, and people. So basically, it is all about HR as the custodian, karta harta, as the caretaker, as the keeper. And of what? Of the organization, culture, and the people. So this is our level 3 today, and that is where we are going to close. See, as you belong to the HR fraternity, you are aware about it's a vast topic. Okay? See, it can never be covered in 1 or 2 hours. हमारे पास तो MBA का program होता है, 2 साल का, and that is where they get into each and every aspect related to HR. But what we did this time in the series was just to give you a kind of a helicopter view. This is going to be your responsibility. This is what is expected out of you as an HR professional. See, these are the kinds of changes which are taking place. These are the challenges ahead of you. And as an HR individual, what is expected out of you? आपको क्या करना है? That is the whole idea. मैंने पहले में भी कहा था, दूसरे में भी कहा था, I am going to repeat once again, कि look, these are my thoughts. ये मेरे अपने विचार है, जरूरी नहीं है कि you are in agreement and you have to accept these thoughts. You may have your own thought process. लेकिन मेरा अनुभव जो कहता है, what my experience says, what my research says, what my study says, this is what I have to share with you. See, before technically I take it further, let me just ask over here, how many of you were part of the first session? Would you just raise your hands, please, so that I get the feel of? Okay, fine, all right. How many of you were part of the second session and not the first one? Okay. And how many of you have attended both the sessions so far? Okay, fine. So for you, it is going to be like an icing on the cake today, all right? And for those who have missed out the first and the second, I'll just make sure you don't feel as if, you have missed out something, It's going to be absolutely a separate topic today. I don't know How many of you have read this book? I really don't know. And this book is by the title Outstanding, which is written by the management thinker, an expert called John Miller. It's a small book relatively. And in this particular book, he talks about how do we make an organization outstanding, exceptional. आपकी जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, कंपनी है, संस्था है, उसे एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी बनाने के लिए, अद्भुत बनाने के लिए, what is required, what needs to be done, and he gets into small topics. Now in this particular book, somewhere he writes, which I want to share with everybody, and there is a lot of learning involved. Like, for example, what he says is, every day, outstanding organizations do things and promote standards that ensure they will retain the customers. भाई ऐसा क्या होता है? What is so special about these organizations? ये individuals में ऐसा क्या खास होता है? हर इंसान के पास टैलेंट है, हर इंसान के पास क्षमता होती है, काबिलियत होती है. तो what is so special about the successful people? What is so special about the successful organizations? See, that is where he writes, outstanding organizations do the things and promote the standards that ensure they will retain the customers. They are customer-centric. They grow revenues, See, they progress, they develop. See, there is this revenue growth. Increase the market share, their market standing. Whatever the area, whatever the spectrum that they are operating in, they want to make sure they have got the substantial market share. And how can they increase this market share? अगर नंबर 5 पे है, how can they become number 4? How can they become number 3? जिसे हम कहते हैं vision, vision, maybe 10 years down the line, maybe 20 years down the line, and accordingly, they draw the action plan for it and build their reputations. It is not just about having the growth business-wise, revenue-wise, profit-wise, but they are equally concerned about their market image, their credibility. They are concerned about their goodwill. People in these organizations, जब organizations की बात होती है, ultimately what is an organization? See, it is not a living creature, it's a non-living creature. So ultimately, what is an organization? It's the collection of the individuals, To put it very simply, it's the collection of people working towards the common goal. People in these organizations hold the values and take the actions individually and collectively. एक समझदारी होती है, आपसी तालमेल होता है, अंडरस्टैंडिंग होती है, जिसे हम समझौता कहते हैं. So people in these organizations hold the values and take actions individually and collectively that are not always easy or obvious, but that are fundamentally powerful. It is value driven. It is principles driven. इनके सिद्धांत होते हैं, आइडियोलॉजीज होती है. You take the business empires and you would realize this. Like for example, L&T है, या फिर आदित्य बिरला ग्रुप है, या फिर टाटाज है, या फिर गोदरेज है, उनके अपने वैल्यूज होते हैं, उनके अपनी आइडियोलॉजीज होती है, प्रिंसिपल्स होते हैं, और उसको लेके ये लोग चलते हैं. In outstanding organizations, it's not the titles that matter. It is not about whether you are an executive director or a vice president or a general manager. See, these are all administrative positions. These are all administrative positions. But what matters is, it's not the titles that matter, but how well we perform and serve. How do we contribute? How do we add the value? See, that is what matters. See, when we talk about the culture and people, mind you, and how HR can contribute to this, see, that is what we are going to discuss over here. So I'm just giving a kind of an idea. See, these are the challenges, okay? And how we are going to prepare ourselves to fight this. How would we prepare ourselves for this? मैंने ये पहले सेशन में दिखाया था. It's a repeat for those who have attended. But you know, it is for those who are here for the first time. ये दो सीनियर लेवल के लोग बातचीत अंदर अंदर कर रहे हैं और कहते हैं, आई डोंट बिलीव दिस. यार ये कैसे हो सकता है? You are quitting just because the other company is giving you more money? आप हमें इसलिए छोड़ के जा रहे हो क्योंकि वो कंपनी आपको ज्यादा पैसा दे रही है and will treat you like a human being? अब आप ही मुझे बताओ कि these are the two basic things that an individual always looks for, is it not? इससे ज्यादा और क्या चाहिए? What you are asking for and what you will be looking for. You want to work with dignity. You want to work, very gracefully. We do have the goals. We do have the objectives. We do have the deadlines. Time pressure भी होता है, सब कुछ होता है, but you don't want to be part of the toxic environment. You don't want to work for the cynical bosses. देखो, इसीलिए हम लोग कहते हैं कि people don't leave their organizations, they leave their bosses. हम सब ये जानते हैं. See, because ultimately, you don't just work for the organization. 24 घंटे आप किसके लिए काम करते हो? You are working for your immediate boss. You don't want to work for a hostile boss. ये भी मैंने कहीं पर दिखाया था. And what was it? This research says, this is just a quick reminder for everybody. हम हमेशा ये कहते हैं कि see, the next young generation sitting over here, for example, youngsters, youth, and they are not loyal to their organizations, over ambitious होते हैं. See, they are the jumping jacks. They don't want to stay with any organization more than 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. हमारा ऐसा मानना है. A professionally qualified person, ऐसा कहा जाता है, on an average stays in an organization for around 1.5 to 2 years. Now what do they look for? और हमारा ऐसा मानना है, they look for the perks. हमारा ऐसा मानना है, they look for the monetary packages. और हमेशा उनका ये सवाल होता है, sir, what would be my take home? अब ये जो रिसर्च फाइंडिंग है वो ये कहता है 300 graduates were asked about their preferences and expectations. कि भाई क्या आपकी अपेक्षाएं हैं? What do you expect? Only 6% ranked remuneration is a very important factor when choosing an employer. Can you believe this? How many? Only 6%. In their priority list, in their expectations list, at the top was the remuneration package. अरे भाई मुझे क्या मिलेगा? I'm not too much interested about the culture over here, my boss, the infrastructure, the resources. मुझे इन सब चीजों में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. आप मुझे ये बता दो what is going to be the CTC and what is going to be my take home. मुझे उसमें इंटरेस्ट है. And 70% said professional development was on the top of their list. That is what they were looking for. ठीक है. See, I'm not over here for charity. नहीं, मुझे भी पता है at the end of the day, money matters and that is the hardcore reality of life. मैं मानता हूं, समझता हूं. लेकिन कहते हैं कि these youngsters, they look for the culture, their professional development. मेरा यहां पर growth क्या होगा? Where can I be in this company if I perform well, let us say in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, 15 years? What would be my career growth? How the company would be contributing to my professional growth? What kind of HRD focus do you have in this organization? What kind of a training and development budget you have in this organization? See, that is what these people are interested in. क्योंकि जो सबको मिलेगा वो मुझे भी तो मिलेगा. अगर यहां पर एवरेज ट्रेनिंग मैंडेज अगर 6 है, 7 है, 8 है, तो दैट वुड बी एप्लीकेबल टू मी एज वेल. लेकिन अगर यहां पर एवरेज ट्रेनिंग मैंडेज ही 1 है, तो उसका मतलब यह हुआ कि आई वुड नॉट बी गेटिंग एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर मोर देन अ डे. सी, इट इज एज सिंपल एज दैट. They consider training and company culture more important than salary and traditional perks when selecting an employer. And how true it is. हमारा ऐसा मानना है कि youngsters are not loyal. सवाल यहां पर लॉयल्टी की नहीं है. सवाल यहां पर यह है कि what are they looking for? And of course, they are looking for what? Their overall growth. See, it is said in the world of management, you don't build a business. You build people, and then the people build the business. Please understand this. अगर ये आपने समझ लिया, this is the core of today's session. हमारा ऐसा मानना है कि we build the organization and in the process we build the people. लेकिन मैनेजमेंट एक्सपर्ट्स ये कहते हैं it is actually vice versa. And what is it? We build people and in the process people build the organizations. See, that is the difference. और इसीलिए हम लोग कहते हैं, शायद मैंने पहले भी कहा होगा कि it is the HR, manpower. I'm not talking about HR per se as the department or a function. It is your human resource, your manpower that can make you and that can break you. उनमें ये ताकत होती है, वो बना भी सकता है और आपको डुबा भी सकता है. Otherwise, business fluctuations would always be there. See, that is part and parcel of any business. आज कोविड है तो कल कोई नेचुरल कैलेमिटी है तो परसों कुछ और है. There could be global recession, for example, and your company, your management is not responsible for it. But because you are in the business, you will have to face it. लेकिन अगर अच्छे लोग हैं तो आप ये चैलेंज है उसमें से निकल जाओगे. Be fast. Now, what do I mean by this? See, when we talk about the culture, when we talk about, preparing our people, and this is what it is. John Miller, in his book, says this. You will have to be very fast. You will have to be very quick. Because we are living in the hyperactive world. वो जमाना निकल गया कि people would go to the bank, they wanted to withdraw the money, would take the token, and then they would wait for their token number to come. और जब आधे पौने 1 घंटे बाद आपका टोकन नंबर बोला जाएगा कि टोकन नंबर 1 2 3 4 और आप कहोगे कि हां इट्स मी, और आपको ऐसे लगता है जैसे आपकी लॉटरी लग गई. अब आप ही का पैसा वो आपको दे रहा है. So there is nothing new, okay? But people were made to wait. आज ये होता है कि if the ATM machine takes a little longer, you become anxious. Is it not? And that's the reality कि यार ये लोग ये ATM machine बहुत time लेता है. Outstanding organizations have a tremendous sense of urgency. Beautiful thing. एक sense of urgency होती है ऐसा. because everybody is in a mode. People get the things done very quickly. Wherever you go, people are on the move. They don't make you wait. There is a little waiting around for the approval. You don't have to wait for the approvals for a long time. देखो, in the government setups we have seen that, कि कई बार साहब नहीं है, अब ये फाइल वुड गो टू अनदर डिपार्टमेंट, उसके बाद अनदर डिपार्टमेंट में, ये तो एक प्रोसेस है, यू विल हैव टू वेट फॉर सम टाइम. यहां पर ये सब नहीं होता है. वट एवर द प्रोसेस दैट दे हैव चोजन, एंड इट्स वेरी क्विक. There is a little waiting around for the approval. No doubt, process is there. People are involved. Okay? There are few meetings. You don't have meetings every now and then. अरे भाई, मीटिंग में क्या डिस्कस करना है, तो कहते हैं उसके लिए भी मीटिंग बुलवा लो. आजकल का माहौल तो ये है कि कई बार मैं हंसते हंसते ये कहता हूं कि देखो, आप 10 जगह पर जस्ट डू अ काइंड ऑफ अ रैंडम रिसर्च, कि भाई 10 जगह पर आप फोन करो कि कैन आई स्पीक विद सच एंड सच इंडिविजुअल. आई बेट ऑन दिस कि 10 में से 6-7 जगह पर आपको ये जवाब मिलेगा, सब मीटिंग में है. See, this is the kind of environment and the culture wherein we are working today. Absolutely. That meeting could be formal, it could be informal, and it could be for 5 minutes, it could be for 10 minutes, and at times maybe even for hours. हाँ, लेकिन हमारा culture ये है, today's culture is, the meeting would start at 11 o'clock. But we don't know when would it end. We never state that. In our culture, we never state the meeting time is 11 a.m. - 12 noon. हमारा वो कल्चर है ही नहीं. आई थिंक दैट इज वेयर HR कैन कम इन द forefront, and you will have to do something about it, so that people who are attending the meeting are very, very clear. It would be very safe. If I can have another appointment maybe at 12:15, I'm going to go out of station, I can book my ticket accordingly. लेकिन वो हमसे नहीं होता है, बिकॉज यू नेवर नो कि ये तो 12 बजे भी खत्म हो सकती है, 1 बजे भी, 2 बजे भी, 3 बजे भी. बेटर इट इज, लेट मी टेक द इवनिंग फ्लाइट आफ्टर 6 o'clock to be on the safer side. There is little waiting around for the approval. There are few meetings and even fewer committee decisions. Decisions come so fast. They resist creating the burdensome policies. What a beautiful thing. छोटी छोटी बातें यहां पर होती है कि we don't want to have the clear policies, simple policies, easy for the people to understand. कि kindly go through this book. अगर आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम हो, you can discuss with others. Otherwise, it is self-explanatory. हमारे यहां पर ये होता ही नहीं है. They resist creating the burdensome policies, and where the policies do become roadblocks, managers carry a sharp pair of scissors. See, they are always ready to cut short. कि जहां कहीं पर भी loopholes है, shortfalls है, and they realize कि it has become a kind of a roadblock. It has become like a bump. For example, they use the pair of scissors, constantly clearing the way for their people by cutting the red tape. Red tape का मतलब होता है bureaucracy. It is the bureaucracy. और हमारे यहां पर कहते हैं delay means decay. Justice delayed is justice denied. जो हमारे यहां पर कहते हैं कि ये एक लोगों की आस छूट जाती है, ये यहां पर कुछ नहीं होगा, nothing would happen. See, there is this beautiful saying in the world of management जो मुझे बहुत पसंद है. You can't be in business today. Use yesterday's tools and techniques and hope to be successful tomorrow. दूसरी बार पढ़ना, गिरिराज भाई. If you want to sit that side, you can. You would be able to see it properly. All right? You can't be in business today. You can't be sitting on your past laurels. कहने का मतलब यहां पर यह है अरे भाई, we have been in the business for the last 50 years. We have been in the business for the last 75 years. So what? और हमने देखे हैं ऐसे organizations जो अगले 2, 4, 5 साल में डूबने लगते हैं. We have seen those. See, I come from Mumbai. मैंने बॉलीवुड को देखा है बहुत करीब से, और मैंने ये समझा है, in Bollywood it is said, an actor is as good as his last 2-3 releases. That's it. ये बॉलीवुड में बहुत जानी मानी बात है. You could be धर्मेंद्र, you could be अक्षय कुमार, you could be Anil Kapoor, so what? And you might be in the film industry for the last 40 years and 50 years. So what? You may have given some super releases, super hits. So what? You are as good as the last 2-3 releases. That's it. अब क्रिकेट को ले लीजिए. And what is it? क्रिकेट में कहा जाता है, a cricketer is as good as his last 5 innings. You may have scored centuries. You could be Virat Kohli. And you could be Rohit Sharma. आप देखना आने वाले समय में, and you would remember me. कि the moment he has a bad series, a bad tournament, और हम लोग ही कहेंगे कि I think the time has come for him to take retirement, or else take him out of the team, sack him now. Hero becomes a zero. How can you be in business today? Use yesterday's tools and techniques, remain rigid, remain bureaucratic, remain conservative, but hope to be successful tomorrow. How is it possible? The equation doesn't work that way. You will have to update yourself. You will have to upgrade yourself. समय के साथ चलना पड़ेगा. See, ये बंधन लेके आप नहीं चल सकते. We have academicians over here in this session today, and they would, agree with me. एक जमाना हुआ करता था कि the students were taught with, the blackboard and the chalk. क्या आज भी आप वहीं करते हो? नहीं, it is not possible. समय के साथ अपने आप को बदलना पड़ता है. Yes, of course, our virtues, our ideologies, our principles, they remain the same. पहले भी हम लोग कहते थे, मातृदेवो भव, पितृदेवो भव, गुरुदेवो भव, अतिथि देवो भव. वो कल भी था, आज भी है और रहेगा. See, those virtues and our ideologies, हमारे जो सिद्धांत है, वो बदलते नहीं है समय और संजोग के साथ. But of course, our systems are going to change. Our processes will have to change. The prerequisites, the essentials, basics for the performing organizations, क्या हो सकती है? And you can have a long list. We don't have the time over here. If it would have been my training program, I would have given you as an exercise. कि चलो अगले 10 मिनट के लिए, 15 मिनट के लिए, let us do this exercise. What is your opinion? Work individually, work as a group, and come out with a list. हमें बताएं कि what an performing organization would do. What are the signs of a progressive organization? यहां पर I'll share with you, without any discussions. ये मेरा मानना है. And these are the top 5. Top 5. And this is not inclusive, and this is not even sequential. ये नहीं है, this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3. It all depends the way you want to put them. But in my opinion, it is about, if you want to be a performing organization, an exceptional organization, you need to have a good selection. What do I mean by this? It's not about the raw material. It's not about the machinery. It is not about something else. It is about the selection of people. You need to have the scientific processes of selection. You will have to be very systematic. ये 15 मिनट का आपने इंटरव्यू ले लिया और किसी को जॉब ऑफर दे दिया, ये नहीं चलेगा. No doubt, the risk element is always involved, and it is involved everywhere. When divorces would never happen. है ना, divorces would never happen. मैंने आज तक, I have never heard कि somebody says that we are getting married to take a divorce 6 months later. No, ऐसा होता नहीं है. But divorces do happen, and that's the reality of life. You will have to find out the ways and means. How do we become more systematic? How do we become more scientific? How do we become more effective in choosing the people? આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહીએ કે એકડો બરાબર ઘૂંટાવો જોઈએ, because this is the source of everything. The second one is appropriate work conditions, the environment. And that is what I was talking about a few minutes back. See, nobody wants to work for the hostile work environment. Nobody wants to work in the toxic work environment. मैंने पहले भी कहा, goals are always there. Objectives are always there. Deadlines are always there. You have got your daily goals, you have got your weekly goals, you have got the monthly goals. ये सब चीजें होती है. Show me an organization wherein, all these things are not given. It is give and take. इस हाथ से ले, उस हाथ से दे. ये हर जगह पर होता है. तो बिजनेस में तो होगा ही होगा. But people want to work in the relaxed work environment. ये बहुत ही जरूरी है. See, I'm not talking in terms of the facilities. I'm not talking in terms of the luxuries over here. लेकिन एक basic level of infrastructure is definitely required, and that is where people are going to perform. The third one is about ongoing training and development for the growth, which we have discussed last time. And it is ongoing. It's on a continuous basis. Training and development is never considered as an expenditure. It is considered to be an investment. See, that is the culture. And that is the management focus. मैंने पिछली बार भी कहा था कि CFO asking, discussing with the chief executive officer कि sir, we invest in the people so much, in training and development. लाखों करोड़ों का हम बजट क्रिएट करते हैं, and just imagine if they don't stay with us. So we have lost, और जो CEO है वो जवाब देता है कि just imagine if we don't invest in the people and they stay back with us. There is a way of looking at it. हम इन लोगों में इन्वेस्ट करेंगे और वो छोड़ के चले जाएंगे. आप ये सोचते हो, मैं ये सोचता हूं कि हम इन्वेस्ट करते ही नहीं है और ये लोग भली भांति हमारे साथ ही रहते हैं. तो what kind of people would we be having? So come out of this thought process. You have to be large-hearted. You will have to look at the things from a global perspective. You need to have the macro perspective. You can't be myopic this way. हम बच्चे के पीछे खर्च करते हैं या फिर इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, ये हमारी सोच कहती है. मां बाप अपने बच्चों के पीछे खर्चा नहीं करते, उनके पीछे इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. See, that is the way you look at, see, जिसको पीलिया हुआ है उसको पूरी दुनिया पीली ही दिखती है. See, that is the way you look at the world. You always have that fear factor and you will always have those apprehensions. Another one is a culture for performance. We have the healthy work culture. We compete with each other, but very healthily. We don't have the unfriendly work environment. We don't have the dirty politics. We don't have the backstabbing, for example. We don't get into that. चाहे वो विराट कोहली और रोहित शर्मा के बारे में हो, चाहे वो ईशान किशन हो या फिर केएल राहुल. See, these are all, see, they are competing with each other. है कि नहीं? See, they are competing with each other. आप दो विकेट कीपर्स को नहीं खिला सकते. You can't have 3-4 opening batsmen in one team of 11. तो कहीं ना कहीं तो किसी को आपको बिठाना पड़ेगा. अश्विन को बिठाना पड़ा during the World Cup because we did not have the place for him in the playing 11. But the point over here is, do we compete with each other or we complement each other? See, that is what, the kind of a culture. And, the best of the cricket experts, even during this World Cup, have said, okay, what a wonderful culture, the Indian cricket team has, even in the dressing room. Not only outside the dressing room, but that could be seen in their behavior. That could be seen on the ground. On the field, we are able to see that. Look at their body language, for example, and we are able to make out, see, हार और जीत ये होती रहती है. That is part of sports, On a given day, it was a one bad day in the office, and that's about it. And we were not able to click on a given day. Unfortunately, it was. But that doesn't make our Indian cricket team a bad team. And last but not the least, opportunities for enlarging responsibilities. See, people today are not contented कि मुझे पगार तो मिल रहा है, काम कराते हैं नहीं कराते हैं, मैं बैठा रहता हूं, whether I am working for 4 hours, 5 hours, but I am being paid for the entire day. आजकल के लोग ऐसा नहीं सोचते. See, they are looking for the opportunities. They are looking for the challenges. They want to work on certain projects क्योंकि उनको पता है कि वहां पर उनकी market value. See, that is what they would be able to state in the resume. See, this is what I have worked on. ऐसे ऐसे projects पर मैंने काम किया है. उनको ये नहीं है कि outdated system है, operating systems है, platforms है, और मैं काम कर रहा हूं, and I am getting a hefty package. मैं भी खुश, कंपनी भी खुश, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. नहीं, कंपनी खुश है, लेकिन वो ना खुश है. उसको लगता है आने वाले समय में my market value would be going down because people are going to ask me what kind of operating system that you are working on. आपके यहां पर सिस्टम्स कैसी है, प्रोसेसेस कैसे है, क्वालिटी रिलेटेड प्रोसेसेस कैसे है. पीपल आर गोइंग टू आस्क. वॉक द टॉक. Let me quote over here the doyen of the Indian industry, and it is none other than Narayan Murthy of Infosys. What he has to say. Each and every word is a gold mine. And what he says is, right from day one for us, value system and culture were really the protocols for ensuring that the energy, enthusiasm, trust and confidence of every member of the team was very high. We were very clear about this. No doubt, ours is a profit-oriented organization. We are not over here for charity. See, it is not, ये कोई सामाजिक संस्था नहीं है. We are in the profit-making business. We want to survive. We want to grow. We want to have the market share, and that is part of our job profile. But at the same time, we made sure about it from day one that, the value system and the culture were really the protocols. And that is what we were going to follow. And there was no compromise over there from day one. We made sure, dekho, how you become the custodian of the culture and the people. We made sure that the leaders walk the talk because at the end of the day, it's their responsibility to become the change agents. ये कहने से नहीं होता है. And that is why we say leadership is always by examples. See, that is why we say practice what you preach. If you as a supervisor, as a leader, if you are disciplined, you can expect discipline from your people. If you are, reporting on time to your office, you can ask somebody कि मैंने आपको देखा पिछले 2-3 दिनों में कि you have been reporting to the office late. क्या बात है? लेकिन आप खुद ही अगर 15 मिनट, 20 मिनट, आधा घंटा, आप लेट आते हो, आपको ये अधिकार नहीं बनता है. Because आपके मन में डर है, that fear is there, you would be questioned कि साहब पहले अपना तो संभालो, आप क्या करते हो? You look at yourself, अपने गिरेबान में झांक के देखो आप. What would you say? You are on a sticky wicket. We made sure that the leaders walked the talk, because at the end of the day, it's the responsibility to become change agents, torch bearers. And to be change agents, they have to be credible. You have to be open. You have to be transparent. You have to be honest. You need to demonstrate that integrity. और तब जाके you would be able to demand from others. And to be change agents, they have to be credible. Because they have the responsibility of taking the corporation, the organization to the new highs. And that is what, see, we are discussing about in today's session. All right, so when we discuss about this, the organization's culture, see, हर फैमिली का अपना एक कल्चर होता है ना? हर फैमिली का अपना एक कल्चर होता है. कोई पटेल है, कोई बनिया है, कोई ब्राह्मण है, कोई गुजराती है, कोई मराठी है, कोई राजस्थानी है. See, we are all Indians, but we have our own culture. I stay in Mumbai. In my building, we have got 53 units. But mind you, each and every unit has its own identity. The way you speak, the way you behave, the way the food is prepared, आप कपड़े जो पहनते हो, you know, हर चीज में कहीं ना कहीं वो कल्चर आ जाता है. कंपनीज में भी ऐसा है, डिपार्टमेंट्स में ऐसा होता है. यूनिफॉर्म कल्चर होता है, you know, कि हमारी कंपनी में यूनिफॉर्म पहनना पड़ता है. एंड दैट्स अ मस्ट. हमारे यहां पर यूनिफॉर्म नहीं है, आप पहन सकते हो वॉट एवर यू वॉन्ट टू, यू नो, इनफॉर्मल है, कैजुअल्स है, चलेगा, जीन्स भी चलेगा, टी शर्ट भी चलेगा. लेकिन कुछ कंपनीज में ऐसा नहीं होता है. दे आर वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट अबाउट इट. वेजिटेरियन कल्चर है, नॉन वेज कल्चर है. हाँ, कहा जाता है कि भाई देखो, यहां पर नॉन वेजिटेरियन फूड इज नॉट अलाउड, यू नो, with due respects to you. You may have your personal choices, you know. आप अपने घर पे क्या करते हो, क्या खाते हो, क्या पीते हो, वो अलग चीज है. But that is not allowed at the workplace. I remember years back, somebody from HR, you know, very informally somebody had shared with me that a young girl who was hired and she got into the job. And, you know, the kind of clothes that she used to wear, they did not have the uniform culture. तो वो अपने हिसाब से पहन के आते थे. और, you know, it became a kind of a talk in the company. And, you know, everybody was looking forward to कि भाई आज वो क्या पहन के आती है, these, that, वगैरह, revealing dresses, these, that, you know. And HR had to literally call that girl and have a kind of a counseling session. और वो लड़की कहती है कि look, that is the way I am raised in my family. My parents do not object to this. उनको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आपको क्यों है? And that is where they had to literally decide about कि what kind of clothes and the dresses to wear. वो बोले कि हमें लिटरली ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट में रखना पड़ा, उसकी पॉलिसी बनानी पड़ी कि अगर कपड़े भी पहनने हैं तो यू विल हैव टू वेयर इन अ पर्टिकुलर वे. देयर वुड बी अ प्रोटोकॉल फॉर इट. आप घर पे क्या करते हो, हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. See, when we talk about the organization's culture and the profile, innovative, it will have to be imaginative. See, there is a scope for risk. There is a scope for experimentation. जो चल रहा है वो चलने दो, यहां पर वो एटीट्यूड नहीं है. दूसरा एलिमेंट यहां पर है, and that is about being aggressive. You want to grow. See, there is some pace, there is speed. ये नहीं है कि भाई हम लोग चलेंगे और ग्रोथ हो रहा है 3%, 4%, 5%, नहीं चलने वाला है. We want to grow at the rate of 20%, 30%, and that is how we want to double our turnover. Let us see in the next 3 years. We want to be 5 times in the next, let us say 10 to 15 years. And how would you do that? See, another element is about, it is about result oriented, outcome oriented. जो मैंने बार बार कहा कि we want to be in the business. We are not over here for the social welfare. ठीक है, एक डिपार्टमेंट है, we allocate the budget for it, but हमारा at the end of the day हमारा काम ये है, we want to be in profits. We want to be result oriented. We want to see the growth, the percentage vis-a-vis the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. And how are we growing vis-a-vis our competitors? We want to check that. We want to have the stability. देखो, बिजनेस है, फ्लक्चुएशंस होंगी. You can't have a curve like this. There would always be fluctuations. COVID would come, government policies would change. The global economy, the domestic economy, natural disasters, वगैरह. See, that is part and parcel of business. But leaving it aside, you have some sort of stability. कि हाँ, last year we grew at the rate of 12%. This year, because the markets are tight, we may grow by 9.5 to 10%. And that is understandable. So you may have certain fluctuations like this, ECG ki tarah, but if you look at the last 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, you would always see that the company has been growing on an average at the rate of, let us say, 10%, 12%, 15%, so on and so forth. People oriented, of course, there is HRD focus, and whatever we do in our organization, it has got the people orientation, because we believe in, we develop the people, and in the process, people develop the organizations. Of course, it is about the team. It is about caring, sharing, and understanding. ये समझौते की बात होती है, आपसी तालमेल की बात होती है. And finally, it is not about the ad hocism. It's about working very systematically. You are process driven, and you get into the details. Everything is very well documented. And all of these elements put together, somewhere they contribute to the culture. And HR can play a major role in developing all of these elements. Okay, fine. See, as we are coming to close, almost we are left with a few minutes, and I need to wind up. I'm reminded about Bill Gates, Microsoft, and what he has to say. And he says, see, Microsoft is a company that manages imagination, period. That's it. Microsoft की मिल्कत क्या है, उसके एसेट्स क्या है, आपको क्या लगता है? Is it about the buildings, the contracts, the furniture, the vehicles? आपको ये सब लगता है? मुझे ये नहीं लगता है. It is all about the image. And when we talk about it's about the growth. When we talk about the people, it is all about the imagination. The 4 pillars, मेरे हिसाब से, मुझे ये लगता है, my experience says this. मेरा ऐसा मानना है, and this is not inclusive. Once again, let me tell you this. You may want to add, you may want to modify, you may want to alter, लेकिन मेरा ऐसा मानना है कि these are the 4 pillars of culture building, people building. And what is it? One is communication and information sharing. The channels of communication. ये जो हम बात करते हैं openness, ये जो हम बात करते हैं transparency की, accessibility की, for example, what is it? Open door policy. और किसी ने मुझे ये कहा था, सर मैंने अपनी कैबिन से हमारा जो डोर था वही निकलवा दिया. मैंने बोला कि मैंने उसकी बात नहीं की थी आपको. ओपन डोर का मतलब ये नहीं होता है कि you don't have the doors. You do have the doors, but you are accessible. There could be hundreds and thousands of people working in your organization. But there is this easy access कि एक वर्कर भी अगर मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर से, एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर से, फंक्शनल हेड से अगर बातचीत करना चाहता है, he doesn't have to go through a massive channel. वो ईमेल भेज सकता है, मैसेज भेज सकता है, फोन पर बात कर सकता है, एंड ही कैन फिक्स एन अपॉइंटमेंट. उसका मतलब ये नहीं होता है कि वो सीधा चल के अंदर चला जाएगा. नो, ही इज नॉट अ फ्री पर्सन ओवर देयर. बट यस, He doesn't have to go through a particular security channel. ये सब करने की जरूरत नहीं है कि he will have to wait for the next 10 days and 12 days. See, the notice boards, the newsletters, the company in-house magazines वगैरह, ये सब क्या है? It is all about becoming black and white. See, that is what brings in the transparency. Town hall meetings, for example, what is that? It is all about communication and information sharing. और जब ये होता है तो gossiping नहीं होती है, rumors नहीं होते हैं. Because people have that confidence. उनको पता है, I would be able to ask this question कि सर मैंने ऐसा सुना है कि our company is going to be taken over by फलाना फलाना, क्या ये बात सही है? Rather than शेयरिंग टू द रूमर्स, सोशल मीडिया ये कहती है, मैंने बिजनेस नेटवर्क में कहीं पर चैनल में ये सुना है, और वो कहते हैं टेक इट फ्रॉम मी. सी दिस इज फ्रॉम मी, फ्रॉम द मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर, फ्रॉम द सीईओ, कि ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. इट इज जस्ट अ रूमर, दैट्स अबाउट इट. सी, अब मुझे किसी और की सर्टिफिकेट की जरूरत नहीं है. Training and development, we have discussed at length. I don't want to get into this, but yes, of course, it is considered to be an investment. You have the budget for it and you don't care for, of course, you care for the return on investment, but you don't become short-sighted. The third one is about accountability and empowerment. See, it's all about give and take. You will have to make people accountable for कि भाई हमने सब कुछ आपको दिया. We have given you the pay packet, we have given you the CTC, we have given you the perks. आपने जो मांगा हमने दिया, तो हमारा भी हक बनता है, अधिकार बनता है to expect the results from you. See, where is this accountability? Where is this sense of ownership? ये कंपनी हमारी है, ये कंपनी मेरी नहीं है, ये कंपनी आपकी नहीं है, ये कंपनी हम सबकी है. When would that feeling come? And that is where, we don't have the time for it, but the concept of performance management system would come. The system that makes people accountable and liable for their work, for their goals, for their commitments, and so on and so forth. And finally, last but not the least, which we have been talking about in bits and pieces here and there, and that is about cross-functional teams, CFTs जो हम कहते हैं, and mobility. Do you have the scope for it? या फिर you live on an island, कि भाई आप एक टापू पर रहते हो, एक आइलैंड पर रहते हो, क्या ये होता है? इसकी जरूरत नहीं है. यू आर डिटैच्ड फ्रॉम द आउटसाइड वर्ल्ड. और कई बार तो यह कहा जाता है कि आई इवन डोंट नो व्हाट्स हैपनिंग इन माय डिपार्टमेंट बिकॉज आई एम कन्फाइंड टू माय पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन. मैं रिक्रूटमेंट एंड सिलेक्शन देखता हूं, मुझे पता नहीं है कि व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन पीएमएस, what is happening in the other HR processes, like for example PMS में क्या होता है, या फिर बाकी industrial relations में क्या होता है. I'm absolutely detached, मुझे कुछ भी पता नहीं. ये नहीं होना चाहिए. You should always get that opportunity of mingling with the people, mixing up. Now it could be in terms of the quality circles, quality related processes हो, या फिर कैज़ान मोमेंट हो, या फिर ट्रेनिंग एंड डेवलपमेंट हो. कहीं ना कहीं आपको स्कोप मिलता है टू मिक्स अप with the marketing people, manufacturing people, technical people, and that is where your overall professional growth takes place. Okay, fine. All right. So let me conclude over here with some of the HR initiatives. We have already spoken about quite a few HR initiatives. लेकिन कुछ और, and what you can do. You can celebrate. You need to have an environment, कि जहां पर celebration हो. Okay? We enjoy the success of each other. See, everybody is not going to be successful all the time. आपकी टीम जीतती है, लेकिन फिर भी आपने देखा होगा कि एक दो ऐसे बंदे होते हैं जिनका कंट्रीब्यूशन या तो जीरो होता है या तो नेगेटिव में होता है, कि न तो इन्होंने रन्स बनाए, न तो विकेट्स लिए, और एक कैच भी छोड़ा. Because on a given day, he did not perform. But that is not the case always. Lekin we always want to have at least 3, 4, 5 performers, and they contribute to the success of the team. A celebration is anything that says congratulations. It could be a congratulatory note. It could be an SMS, a WhatsApp message. It could be an email that is coming from the top management. And who is going to take the initiative for this? It's the HR team. Great job. Yes, we did it. It could be as simple as a kind word, a pat on the back. More formalized like an Employee of the Month award, or as grand as the fireworks and the parade. See, there could be a function wherein, even your family is, invited, and in front of them, you would be felicitated. You are given that opportunity to visit the head office, visit the manufacturing facility, तो ये एक privilege होता है, ये एक honor होता है, and HR people can take such kinds of initiatives. Another one, for example, and it's about, we have been discussing about this, I don't have to say much about it, but even then, develop the managers, and that is what people look for. They are looking for the professional growth, they are looking for the professional development. And what is it? Outstanding organizations move the right people up and then train them to do their new and critical job well. They train the people, they work on their knowledge, they work on their skills, they work on their expertise. ऐसे नहीं होता है प्रमोट कर दिया और उसके बाद में देखा जाता है. See, we are always reactive. The outstanding organizations are always proactive. They prepare the people. They always work on their bench strength, which is not the strength of our Indian culture. For example, हमें पता नहीं है कि हमारे बाद क्या. See, that is the typical Indian culture. That is the typical Indian mentality. Father को ये पता नहीं होता है कि मेरे बाद क्या, and that's how we never prepare the will. See, मैंने कहीं पर पढ़ा था कि an average Indian by birth knows that he is going to die once. One day he is going to die. But an average Indian behaves in a way as if he is never going to die. और ये भी उतनी ही सच्चाई है. They help people transition from being a player to a coach. They recognize that not training the managers is a cost that won't show up as a line item on any balance sheet, जो मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया था कि HR is a resource, human beings, the manpower, it contributes almost like 80% to the organization's value. But unfortunately, ये कम नसीबी की बात है, it never gets reflected in the balance sheet. ये सच्चाई है. Here is an asset which only appreciates, it doesn't depreciate, but कम नसीबी ये है कि कहीं ना कहीं बैलेंस शीट में वो कभी भी दिखाई नहीं देता. Look at this. They recognize that not training the managers is a cost that won't show up as a line item on any balance sheet. Nowhere will it say cost of not training the managers. How beautifully it is written. कि कहीं पर हमें यह दिखाई नहीं देता है कि देखो आपने ट्रेनिंग नहीं दिया था, उस वजह से ये आपका कस्टमर छूट गया, ये आपका रेवेन्यू छूट गया. वो कभी भी हमें दिखाई नहीं देता है. इट्स एन इनविजिबल कॉस्ट, बट दैट कॉस्ट इज देयर nonetheless, and it is significant. So that is what, my friends, I wanted to communicate today in Masterclass, number 3. It has been a wonderful experience all throughout these 3 sessions. I hope and I wish that I have added some value to your knowledge, to your way of thinking, and to your attitude. Okay, I wish you all the best, and may God bless you. Keep in touch, and thank you very much. Thanks for your time and your concentration. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Hiren Bhai, for your valuable guidelines, and you've shared your experience and thought in the subject of HR to our participants. Friends, we have given a physical feedback form. So please fill up the feedback form, because we'll be analyzing that, and on the basis of your feedback, we'll be also conducting other programs in the next year. And we also have a QR code for that, for feedback. So either you can use physical form, or you can use the QR code also. Thank you once again for being with AMA. See you in 2024. Thank you.